Am I the asshole for getting my niece to move in with me, then charging her rent? A few months ago, my niece, Charlotte, 20, called me saying she was kicked out after an argument with her mom. She was saying that she was already paying $500 per month and they were asking her to pay another $300 while not charging her siblings anything. I called her parents to get their side of the story. My brother immediately said to send her back because his wife didn't mean it when she told Charlotte to get out. After a while, he did confirm what Charlotte said about having to pay, but tried to justify it by saying she could afford it because she was working and that their car insurance went up because she was in a car accident. So minor that there was no damage to her car and you had to zoom in to see the scratch on the other car, ignoring the fact that all of their kids had been in accidents, including one of them totaling their car and causing significant damage to two others and then being given a new car 2 weeks later. I told Charlotte that she was welcome to live with me and the girls, so we went back to her parents' house, packed her stuff, got her important documents, returned her car, and took her back to my house. I got her a bank account that's only in her name, loaned her money to buy a newish car, and helped her enroll in community college. She's studying early childhood education, teaches a mommy and me class once a week, and she babysits 2 to 4 days a week. Before she agreed to move in, I told her she was going to help contribute, but nothing like her parents. She pays me $250 per month in rent. This goes into an account that's only will be saved and invested for her. She has access to the account. She also pays $100 per month for groceries. She gets $50 per month from the school for groceries, so she really only pays $50. I split her car insurance with her, which on her new plan comes out to $170 per month. Her share is $85. I loaned her $4,500 for her car, so she's paying me $150 per month to pay that off. Gas is around $80 per month, but she gets another $50 per month from school, so for now it's $30. Then we talked about how much she makes from her class and babysitting, how many hours per month she needs to work to cover her expenses, and how much she should work so she can have spending money and money put aside in case she has a bad month. Charlotte still speaks to her siblings and was talking about living with me, paying for herself, and learning how to budget. Now her parents are furious that I convinced her to move out over paying rent when I'm having her do the same thing.
Am I the asshole for making New Year's plans with my boyfriend without including a friend? I, 26 female, have been friends with Emma, 25 female, for about 6 years. We're part of the same friend group, which also includes my boyfriend, 27 male, whom I've been dating for a little over a year. This year, due to ongoing tension in the friend group, we're not celebrating New Year's together. Most of our friends already had plans, leaving just me, my boyfriend, and Emma without anything arranged. Emma asked me a couple of times whether my boyfriend and I had plans. At the time, we didn't, and I told her that. I also mentioned that most of our friends were busy, because Emma has previously said she's uncomfortable spending time as a third wheel. Earlier this year, she canceled a trip she had planned with us, another couple and a friend of hers, because she said she'd feel uncomfortable. About 2 weeks ago, my boyfriend suggested that we might do something just the two of us for New Year's, like staying in a nearby city. We started casually looking at options, but nothing was booked or finalized. I wanted a bit of time to think about it before bringing it up. The next day, Emma texted me again asking if we had plans. I told her that we had started looking into doing something on our own, but that nothing was confirmed yet, and that I was open to hearing if she had ideas. She became upset, said I should have told her sooner, refused to talk it out on the phone, and left me on read. After that, she messaged a group chat with another friend, Ellie, 24F, saying she wouldn't be available to exchange Christmas gifts. I later found out she had explained the situation privately to her. I met with Ellie in person to exchange gifts, and she told me that in her opinion, Emma was overreacting, and not to think too much about it because of how she treated me the past summer. For context, this summer Emma found out her boyfriend had cheated on her. I was one of the few people she confided in, and I tried to support her by sharing my own experience with infidelity. She repeatedly dismissed my attempts to help, saying my situation wasn't comparable because my relationship was shorter and the cheating was obvious, at least according to her. Since then, I haven't reached out again, mostly due to the fact that she dismissed my offer to clear things up. From my perspective, we didn't have concrete plans when she first asked, and I didn't expect her to rely on just me and my boyfriend for New Year's, but I'm not sure if I handled this poorly. Am I the asshole?
Am I the asshole for refusing to drive my husband home from his colonoscopy? I need some outside perspective. Am I the asshole? My husband went to the doctor back in September. He needs a colonoscopy. I reminded him in October. In November, he had yet to schedule. I reminded him again and told him to try to schedule it before the end of the year because we hit all insurance and basically free. He told me yesterday he scheduled for the 19th. We're supposed to be in NE for the holidays. He then said we needed to wait, and then after his colonoscopy, we would drive there, which means I would be driving 7+ hours by myself in the late afternoon and evening. I don't do well at night. I could do it if in the morning. I told him to RS2 after the 1st of year. He said no to help save money, so he then RS2 next Wednesday the 17th and said he needed me to pick him up at 12:30. I told him I can't do that because of my job. I am a teacher, and it is one of my busiest times of year. He says I am being rigid, not flexible, and selfish. Also that I don't care about him. I explained that I can't just leave my class for 30 minutes, especially at the lunch hour. Plus, he's going to undergo general anesthesia. He needs somebody to be with him. Also, what if it takes longer than 30 minutes? He said you would figure it out if it were an emergency. This is not an emergency. I also told him I can't leave that day because I have parents coming in to help with a big project, a party I am leading, and a parent conference after school. All of this was scheduled before his colonoscopy, which he did not check with my schedule. He says it is because I can't talk on the phone. I mentioned that he could do it when I get home. He says they are closed. I get home most days at 3:30. He told me to figure it out, because he would do it for me. I told him I wouldn't have given him a week's notice to figure it out for something that's going to require me to take a day off of work, and it's not on me if he waited until the last minute to get it scheduled. I told him to reschedule for the 1st of the year, and I didn't care if we'd have to pay more because at this point in time, there's not a lot of options with the holidays. He said no, and figured it out. I said no. He says I am a shit, because family first, and now isn't talking me.
Am I the asshole for calling my BF absurd? For being overly concerned about a coworker? I, 27 female, have been with my boyfriend, 29 male, for about 2 years. He works in tech. I do not, so I am only hearing this secondhand. Recently, he started talking about a woman he works with. He went on and on about how people at his company treat her unfairly and assume she is incompetent. He kept saying she is extremely smart and great to work with, and that everyone else just doesn't see it. He then told me about a situation involving a code review. From what I understood, multiple people questioned or criticized her code, and according to him, they were all wrong and she was right. He said later it was proven she had done the correct thing. While telling me this, he actually started crying. Like tears and shaking voice. I honestly did not know how to react. It felt absurd. This is a tech company. There are multiple engineers reviewing code. It is really hard for me to believe that several people were all wrong, and only he was right, especially when I am only hearing his version. It feels more likely that the situation was more nuanced than everyone else assumed she was stupid. I also found it concerning how emotionally invested he is in this woman's career. He talks about her like he is her personal defender. I get feeling bad if someone is treated unfairly, but crying over a coworker's code review feels excessive to me. It also does not help that this woman has a solid job in tech and probably makes more money than I do, so it is hard for me to see her as some helpless victim, yet he says she should be leveled higher. I told him that I thought he was being dramatic and that it made me uncomfortable how intensely he was reacting. I also said that if multiple people on his team questioned her work, they probably were not all acting out of bias, and that maybe he is not seeing the full picture. He got very upset and accused me of being uncaring. Now he is hurt and says I do not respect his values. I feel like he is projecting and getting way too emotionally involved with a coworker. Am I the asshole for not believing his take on the situation and being weirded out that he cried over it?